Good evening and welcome to the stream. Um, this is part 11 of our ongoing journey to finish this game on the Mac. And going to switch up the music a little bit here, move into something a little more easy listening. And last night's stream we made some attempt at defeating the Snow Beast and then eventually settled for completing the dungeon beneath. Hey Chis, welcome to the stream. We eventually settled on beating the dungeon beneath Volcania, and then we finished about half of Castle Hillstone. And our first task for tonight is to continue with Castle Hillstone and finish the first floor. And then make another attempt at the dungeon beneath Castle Woodhaven. We've now leveled up some 2 levels since we attempted it last time, and it's about time that we try again. But without further ado, let's jump into the game. The last thing I did before going to bed last night was leveling up the rest of the characters. So every character now except for the Highling Cleric are at a level 11. So that also means that we've reached spell level 11. Which has some benefit for us, and after we finish the castle we should really go and learn some new spells, but I don't think we need them to finish the castle at this point. We've already gone through multiple battles inside the castle and earned a great deal of experience points. And found a significant amount of treasure. So as you can see here, we've finished this half, and the guard towers on the edges, but there is still some left. And as before, the castle guards are everywhere inside the castle. And we've already had quite a few encounters with them. This door is labeled the zoo. I assume that there are quite a few enemies here. We've seen this one before. This is the court jester. He's a nastier version of the juggler. And in addition to being difficult and causing a lot of damage, he also, as the juggler does, reorganizes the order of the party members. So at this point the sorcerer is actually in front of the party, which is generally a very bad idea. And he's mostly immune to magic, so the usual magical spells do very little on him. So our mission is basically to try to restore some hit points so that we don't lose a party member. And we survive and gain some 6,000 experience points for doing so. I assume pretty much every square here is a different encounter with various animals. This one very easy. This one slightly more difficult. These are battles for battle's sake. We're not very likely to become seriously injured here. It's just a matter of going through them, but I will rest anyway in case we end up in a more difficult battle. Every time you get a little bit comfortable in this game, it finds some new way of killing you. So confidence is never good in this game. It always means that you're just about to die. The Wraith, a difficult little beast, or can be. The Minor Devil also capable of casting some spells, which are 2 of them are maybe not a huge problem, but 4 of them are still difficult for us. The Iron Wizard, another magical caster. These are starting to get more difficult one by one. I assume that the last ones are very difficult. The Iron Wizard is mostly immune to any melee attacks, so we have to use the magic to take him down. So we will use the clerics to heal and use the sorcerer to actually finish him off. Still not dead. Now he is. How many of them are left here? Quite a few. The Night Stalker is here now. And the Hill Giant. These don't seem to be in any particular order. Phantom. Immune mostly to magic. Horned Fiend, we've met up with him before. He is one of the ones that can turn us to stone. So he's dangerous. But at least now we're at since we're at spell level 6, we've already gained access to the Stone to Flesh spell, so we are able to turn ourselves back to flesh. The Grim Reaper is capable of casting a spell known as the Fingers of Death, which if successful results in instant death. So it's a good idea to try to take him down before he succeeds in doing so. The Seductress is one of the ones that can paralyze us. The party is slowly getting better at this, but we're still at a point where we can be paralyzed. So this is a dangerous condition that we ended up in here. We'll go heal up and try again. This is the luck of the draw. What we really need to do to take down the Seductress is we need to be able to use the sorcerer, and if we're unlucky enough that she is paralyzed before we can do so, then we will meet our end. This does give us a chance to go back and save our position. I think I'll visit the blacksmith, sell this axe here, and then go to the inn before going back to the castle. We're using the second town as our base, since the second town is pretty close to the castle. These are the usual battles that we have to go through every time we go in here. That's fine. Actually, aren't many left. It's basically only these two. These appear to be fairly difficult. But as with the other ones, there are only two of them. This is the perhaps the most difficult of the ninja-like creatures, the assassin. And luckily we are getting fairly good at beating these monsters down. Now I think this was the seductress. I will try her again. See if we can get ourselves out of this without dying. No. We are still not at a level where we can easily beat the seductress. Yeah, there are dragons later in the game, and we've met a distant cousin, the Pyrohydra, already, which is a three-headed fire-spewing version, but there are other dragons, and they become increasingly more difficult, but they also usually have a large amount of treasure and often some pretty cool items as well, particularly defensive items. And as I remember in the first game, we were at maybe roughly level 17 or so when we first met some dragons that we were actually able to beat. They are difficult. So we do eventually get there. This is the second castle out of 4 in the game, and each castle has a ground floor and at least 2 levels of dungeons. So there is quite a bit of castling left, and in addition to that, there are many dungeons on the various places on the outside as well, so we have quite a few of those left as well. So there's plenty more for us to do. There are 2 doors here, both of them unlabeled. And this little hidden room here, which has nothing in it. We'll take the first one. It's guarded by castle guards, as is usual. And some more guards. Everything in this game tends to be a trap, so this is one of those annoying conditions where we end up in the middle of a fight here just after fighting the guards. This is not good at all. Try to take down these insect plagues here before they do more damage on us. The knight ended up dead, so we will have to run to town to resurrect him. We might try to complete this room before doing so. No, we will not. I will simply go back, use the teleport spell to get back in. Let's see. Sell some of this stuff that we've come across here to make room for more stuff. Okay, Jizz, good night, dudes. 5 hours is not good at all. We need more sleep than that. Sleep well. I hope you can fall asleep. And you don't dream of solving puzzles and castle guards. Now this is the red room. That means that this particular castle is the third castle in the game. And not the second one. So we will come back here after we've won the triple crown so using the red ticket. I will jot this down here in my notes. Also write down the location of this location here where we found the food. We were able to fully restock on food, and we will leave the red room until we can return with having won the red triple crown. And our next point is then to go to the second castle in the game, which is then Castle Pinehurst and not Castle Hillstone. is the door was marked prison, so we will go there once we finish this off here. It's very likely that this room is just filled with treasure, since it's guarded by all of these castle guards. There is an unusual amount of them here. Instead of the usual 6, there are 10 of them. So instead of quick fighting through this, we will go through this carefully and watch what we're doing. We don't end up dead. We are getting stronger. We've already gotten rid of half of them, and we've still been able to use the second cleric to cast combat spells. So one by one we do get stronger. Now let's see what else is in this room. More castle guards. Maybe this is the castle guard break room. This is where they go to relax after their shift. At least the place appears to be crawling with them. See. We are doing okay here. We will finish this off. Another 10. So and I have no problem with that. They're both very good target practice, and they also happen to give us a substantial amount of experience points. So as well as a pretty great deal of treasure. Hi Glisser, welcome to the stream. We are mostly done with Castle Hillstone. I started where we left off last night, and I just discovered that the Castle Hillstone is the 3rd castle in the game, not the 2nd one. So our next mission is to go to Castle Pinehurst and finish that off as well, and we've then finished the
I'm getting laughs.
Yeah.
Maybe I should host the show.
Okay, all right.
Hello, Mr. Cola. Thanks for the host. We've now then finished the ground level of all 3 castles when we get done with Castle Pinehurst. So that's next on the agenda. I'm in this room right now, which is filled with castle guards. You do that, Mr. Cola. Have fun making dinner. Thanks for the work, dude. It's appreciated. Yeah, all of the castle dungeons are 2 floors, so the plan before running into the fact that this is in fact the third castle was to then try our hand at the first level of the dungeon under Castle Woodhaven, but since this is the third one, we will finish up the second one first and then try the dungeon. The two prisoners flee in a puff of magical smoke. A note remains. It says that Lord Slayer chained them because they killed an earthworm by magic instead of by might. Reached them at the Hourglass Inn. Okay. So we found 2 additional hirelings. And the only room that remains is the red room, which we will leave for now since we haven't completed the triple red crown battle. So we will now travel back to Zanzibar, hoping that we don't get lost on the way, and start off by selling our loot. We've gained some almost 200,000 or at least 150,000 gold during these during the mapping of the castle. So it's been good to us. We'll see what the training status is. Sir Lancelot is ready for level 12. So is Sir Hiron and Pink Panther the robber, as well as Friar Tuck the cleric. And we're about 100,000 off with the sorcerer, and need about 12,000 additional for the hireling cleric to reach level 10. So we are doing okay with the leveling. So Lancelot is now becoming a formidable knight. He has 128 hit points at this point, and it's becoming more difficult to take us down in battle, which is a good thing. Now I will check into the inn and check these hirelings here that we just found. Friar Fly, a cleric, a level 9 cleric. Yeah, then the game actually got to name them. Big Boutte is a hireling cleric that we found in the game. It's a good name. And the fact that he has 69 hit points is a coincidence, but it's still a pretty funny coincidence. The only thing that could be funnier would be if he had also had 69 spell points. But this is a game from an area where people were allowed to have a sense of humor, but I'm not sure it would pass quality assurance at this point. But this is a game written by RPG fans for other RPG fans. It's what it is. So it's very fortunate that this is another cleric, because potentially that means that we could travel to Korrak's Cave using 3 level 9, 10, and 12 clerics. And this is another sorcerer, also potentially useful for us. They're not terribly expensive. The cleric is 200 and the mage is 250. So it's good to know of them here. So now we found at least 10 different hirelings that we can swap in and out of the party as we please. And what I will do now is I will simply stroll back to Middlegate, save our progress there, and walk over to Castle Pinehurst, start mapping it. We did visit it much earlier in the game, and we were ways off from being able to go anywhere there, but we've also leveled up some, at least 4 levels, if not more, since then, so we are significantly more prepared. I assumed, since this castle is in square A2, that it was the 3rd castle in the game and not the 2nd one, but that is not the case if the yellow barrel comes before the red one. So we already know this layout pretty well by this point. It's they're all pretty similar. What we need to be a little bit careful about in here is that, and we already found this out, there are traps in at least 2 locations here where you travel in time. Let's see. I want to find these locations here. They're, the ones we know of are X2Y7 and X2Y0. So you will need to be careful. Friend the Horned Fiend is here. And we have quite a few of these acidic blobs as well. We'll cast protection from the elements here. I want to take care of this Horned Fiend first. He's his ability to turn us to stone is fairly annoying. These acidic blobs are very annoying as well. And we lost the knight and the paladin. So you're going to have to go back to what is definitely going to be, we might as well just might just as well just allow them to hack us off here. We just saved. It's good to know, Gleaser, that we have something in store for us. Yeah, I saw that you asked on the last stream whether you should give me some hints. I think not half the fun is finding all of this out, and part of that is also making mistakes. And I've made quite a few, but hopefully you learn and we get better at playing the game. This time around we entered this door here. Yeah, half the fun is not knowing. It's amazing how much I remember about this game from the time that I played it, and it's only recently that I've been doing things that I don't have any recollection of doing before, so it is fairly likely that this was about the point where I made it in the game. I seem to have remembered the first time we went here. To have seen this corridor before. To win the Queen's Triple Crown, take a black ticket to the Arena, Monster Ball and Colosseum. After victory has been achieved, return for your reward. Yes, we know this already. That is then the okay, this is the one of these squares here. We are next to I-7. Okay, we will return. We won't. This won't be our run this time around. We will go back. We'll allow them to beat us down and go back. This is perhaps not the best battle to do that. These are fairly easy. There are these wasps, so we're not gonna get caught in these time traps. It's not a good idea to allow time to pass like this, so we need to be very careful. Yeah. The thing with the graphics is that it's kind of like I very regularly go back and watch Star Trek, and my favorite remains TNG, and for the first few episodes, every time I watch it, it's cringe-worthy. It looks so old and somehow out of place, but after watching a few episodes, you sort of get used to it, and then you start getting into the series again, and then it feels like home. It's just so when you've been playing this game for a while, these pretty poor graphics start to look just fine. You get used to them, and they're actually not that bad considering how old this game is. And I'm going to have to thread carefully here so we don't accidentally step into this time warp again. Now we'll use the I'll try to use the cast turn on dead spell to get rid of the skeletons, and then we will beat down the brainless ones. An easy enough encounter. We don't really need to now we need to be careful, because we're going to run into the we're in 211 now, 210, 29, 28. So the Triple Crown hint is the next one, and what we need to do now, we need to teleport 3 squares forward because square 8 happens to be a teleport. And this square, which is 2, 5, is the Wayback Machine. I assume we need something to be able to use that. At least it says if you wish to use the Wayback Machine, you need to see Lord Peabody. It's likely that we will need to solve some sort of quest if we wish to use the machine. And I assume we can then travel in time. And that's one of the things I like about this game, is that the time travel is a very interesting aspect of the game. And we need to be careful now. We don't want to step into another time trap. So we've finished this circle here and mapped this room. So I already read this the previous time I went here, but I will do it again. Beware the time traps, as the world will end in the year 1000. So the game does give you a little warning that you might end up in serious trouble if you aren't careful with the time here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to Middlegate and save the little progress that we've made here, particularly since we have these time issues and it's so easy to lose a year. So we can go back and restore. Yes, I must admit I really like this this outside part of the game and how it all ties together with all the different towns and so on. Let's see. Okay, we did this door already. The sign said the unmarked ones are deadly, but that must mean that the marked ones are not. This one, however, is very difficult. We have 2 of these earthworms here, which are nothing but problems. We will try our best to restore our condition before we get hit again. But we weren't successful. We will attempt this again. Let's allow the monsters to bash us down here. We just saved. And we are reminded why we do that. There are plenty of things on the way to the castle that we haven't taken a look at yet. Including the wagon tracks that lead off the side of the road and the circus. As I remember, the circus is is a trick to modify your characteristics. And you need to do certain items in certain order to be able to do that. But if you are successful, you can get great rewards. Now, this swamp thing appears to be a pretty lethal creature, and we will attempt to fix our state before it has another chance to hit us. But we've already lost one party member, so this appears to be a very difficult battle again here. We'll attempt this once more. I find it very peculiar that this is the second castle in the game when it appears to be so much more difficult than the ones that we were just in. And such is life. It appears to be the other way around so far, that it is the marked ones that are deadly, not the unmarked ones. The mummy is not a great enemy at all either. Very difficult to deal with. Mostly immune to magic and tough as nails. I don't think they managed to seriously age any of the characters, but they are tough. I forget which spell it is that reverses the aging condition. It's here somewhere. There is a way to do it. This battle got us absolutely nothing. And this door leads right back to where we've been before. So we'll go back here, go 2 squares forward, and hit the teleport, and get ourselves out and back into town, save our progress. This was a difficult battle. We needed 3 attempts to get there. So I'm going to go back. Take this one step at a time. Luckily, this way is It's fairly easy. It's funny that we are probably not yet halfway through the game and we've already fought some 600 battles. And here right away is an encounter, and including our good friend the assassin, an annoying little beast that is capable of rendering us instantly unconscious with one move. And in addition to being able to do that, he's also mostly immune to magic. I missed. I was going to cure Sir Lancelot. And so we have to use the lightning bolts on the assassin to try to get rid of him. In addition to that, we have plenty of foot soldiers down there that will undoubtedly give us a great deal of grief. They are slowly moving in front. I'll get rid of this hypnobeetle here. Just a wear patch remain. Another encounter. Plenty of these flesh eaters. And the champion. The champion is actually very difficult to deal with. Takes a decent amount of hitting to get him down. Very tempting to use the deadly swarm spell, try to take some of these down here, and even twice. Let's see, we have some disease and some poison, but we are otherwise good. That chest was a real pain in the ass. Killed the robber. And this is a incredibly difficult battle as well. There are 11 wyverns here. They are very, very difficult. So I will run here and we will go back and restore our condition. And return. We are barely at a level where we are able to attempt this castle at this point. But yet it seems likely that the yellow bishop is in fact inside the castle. So that's interesting. We found this chainmail here, which is a fairly valuable item. It's only a +2, but it does have some additional properties, so I will keep it. We also found this fireball bow +2, which I'm going to see if the archer can use. Yes, he can, so that's a huge upgrade. A huge upgrade for us. We also found some other items here as well. A helm +4. We have a few of these. Going to go heal up the robber, and I'm going to check if we can move the fireball bow to the robber. That would actually be no, we cannot. So we will trade it up to the well, that is the question of whether no. We will sell it, make a little bit of money, and then we will visit the training grounds. I think we can level up the Highling Cleric again. He's now at level 10, and we will then save and go back to the castle and continue our exploring. Does say that the unmarked ones are deadly, but we've found that it's not just the unmarked ones. I'm going to go in here right now and teleport instead of going through all of these encounters again. But many of the castles are excellent for gaining some experience. Once you've leveled up quite a bit, you can go run through them again once you've leveled up enough, and simply go through encounter after encounter to gain additional experience points. The swarming wasps are here, making life difficult for us. It's not nice of them. They weren't invited. We might end up dead. Yep, that's what happened. The swarming wasps managed to kill us. Or rather the Highling Cleric. tempting to go forward here a little bit, see what's at the end of this corridor. There's a significant level of resistance here. So I'm curious what's at the end there to get rid of this swamp beast if I can, and the shaman as well. That just leaves the giant lizards. Okay, this one is even easier than the one before. It's just the iron wizard here, which is immune to magic, but otherwise fairly easy to deal with. So it's just a matter of using the cold beam spell to take him down. Let's see what we find here. One more. This time another mix. We really want to take care of the snapping spores and the cavaliers here first. This panel is fairly tame, at least compared to the ones that we've been having. That leaves 1 or 2 squares before we reach the door here. And there is another one here, this time featuring the mini Rex and the woodsman. And a lot of gnomes. And, at this level of the game, where we have these spells which we can cast on a great number of monsters, these numbers are not nearly as scary as they would have been just a few levels ago. We removed most of the difficult monsters here. Just leaves the huge amount of gnomes, and they are mostly running away from us. So it won't take us long to plow them down here. Okay, 1 square remains until we get through this door here. And a white knight is here now. And a werewolf. We've taken down the white knight. We've taken down the pixie. And then the rest is fairly easy. I wonder about what's behind this door. There's a lot of fighting to get to it. There's absolutely nothing behind this door here. It's just a way of getting here. So we will use the teleport spell to go 3 squares forward, which is the last square here that we had mapped. Okay. They all end up here, and the trick here, what they're hoping will happen, is that you will eventually forget and run into these time traps. But for now, we will go back and save our progress. Somewhere along the line, we seem to have been robbed. We have significantly less gold than we did just a little bit ago. We will restore the hireling cleric so he can continue to gain experience points. Let's see. Yet another tour awaits us here. Five of these swarming wasps. Highly annoying they are. What is the condition here? We can cast a power cure on the cleric, and we can cast a power cure on the archer, but I'm afraid we have quite a few members that will be dead after this. We will try and attempt this again here. It's usually when you take on these locations which are where you are barely able to move on, where you gain most of the experience. Things are supposed to be difficult, but not impossible. So if they're right on the border, then usually you make good progress. Again, now there are 13 of these wyverns. They are very difficult to deal with. It's also a huge number of them. We might potentially be able to get through them. We'll see. But this is in any case massively difficult for us. Luckily for us, they are mostly waiting for their opening, so the ones that are at the back are not actively attacking us. which is saving our butt here. And as we can see, we come so close to being dead. The frontmost members had 3 or 4 hit points left, but 3 or 4 is still better than 0, so they were still alive. And we made it through, gained some 8,000 experience points for doing so. We'll cure the poison and rest. We found 44,142 gold and 7 gems. That pretty much makes up for the amount that we lost here earlier. And here's another battle with 3 of these werewolves and 4 of these killer cadavers. And we got to go first, so that's significantly easier for us. These cripples are actually far more difficult than they perhaps appear to be, so it's good to use a little bit of magic on them. Let's see. Now, there are no labels on these doors here, and nothing to be seen here either. It's obvious where this door goes. It goes directly back into the hallway. We know exactly what's there, so we don't need to go there. And I assume this one goes back to the throne room again. Nestled under a pile of dust, you see what was once described to you as a J26 Fluxer. Take it, yes. So we found yet another one of these quest items here. We already have quite a few of them. We have the M27 Radicon and the N19 Capitor. So we now have 3 of the 4 items in our hands. However, as I remember, the 4th castle in the game is one that we need to travel back in time to find. So these paladins are certainly worthwhile enemies. They are immune to magic. Being a spellcaster, they do a decent amount of damage as well. So we will focus the energy of all the melee fighters in the crew to attacking them, and use the spellcasters on the ogres. Thanks for the follow, Duke Donuts. welcome to the stream. We are in the middle of exploring Castle Pinehurst in this game. We are now at a decently high level of 11 or so for most of the characters. So we're slowly moving along. This game is, as I've mentioned multiple times on this stream already, a marathon and not a sprint. I've died more times in this game than I've died in every AA game in the last 3 years, I think. It requires some patience. But it is also rewarding. It's a great deal of fun. Perhaps because it's a little bit difficult. And we're getting there. 5,875 experience points. And some 3,000 gold per party member. So now we've done these. It's very tempting to go back to the inn and save our progress. Okay, Gleeser also played the Genesis version of the game. Yeah, as I mentioned before on the stream, this is the version I originally played. This is the original box that I bought some 30 plus years ago. I played this on my father's Mac back in the day. So I'm playing it again on the same platform as I played it originally, and then the plan was to play the third game on the Amiga, because when I got the third game I had my own Amiga. Just going to do a check here. So Sir Lancelot needs 100,000. Okay. Yeah, it does look pretty good. This is not exactly the same version I played. I played the there are two versions of game number 2 for Mac. One is in black and white and the other is in color. They are otherwise identical. So this is the color version. And it's probably the prettiest of them, except for the I took a look when I was thinking about this stream. There's a TurboGrafx version of this game, and which came out in 91 or so, and that one looked pretty awesome, but it's of course in Japanese, and I'm not sure it has been translated. But I could have played that on the Mister if I wanted to. But as is, I'm playing this on an emulator called Mini VMAC, which is emulating a Mac 2. And it's done a solid job so far. There have been absolutely no stability issues. Being a little bit careful now, since there are 7 of them. We can easily take down 6, but for every one they add, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Now this square leads directly into the time trap, so we are not going to take that. I already discovered the in an earlier run that you can get away from the time trap by simply going in the other direction, so you can map the square. And the reason I'm turning around constantly is because I'm checking for messages on the walls. I'm sorry if it makes you nauseous that I keep turning around. I hope it doesn't. Sometimes when I'm watching streamers which are playing particularly first-person shooters and they're moving very quickly with the mouse, it can almost make you motion sick. But I don't think that's as much of a risk when you're playing a 2D game. Just going to take this nice and easy here. We have these mounted controls, and I'm going to take them down by using magic as much as possible. Making good progress here. We will finish the rest. Additional 5,000 experience points here. We are certainly getting a lot of experience points. And let's see. This door goes directly up and then would lead us directly back into the time trap. So the game certainly wants us to fall into the trap. And I will now run back to save our progress. Even if it means taking a little extra time. I love this aspect of the game that you have to go back to the towns and enter the inns to save the game. It makes the game a quite different beast, because if you were able to just endlessly save, you could attempt these battles again and again, and the game would probably be too easy. But as is, it's about the right amount of compromise between frustration and fun. Although we have had some streams here that have been that have certainly been more frustrating than fun. Now, we've done every door in there, but we have not done the bottommost part, and there are still two doors here on the side that we haven't explored, so we'll do that now. Okay, these are the stairs to the dungeon. They're in X11Y2. I'll jot that down. Okay. "14 barbarians." Now, that is what I would call an almost impossible battle, but let's try it anyway. I think we will perish very quickly here, even if we use all of our strategic tactics of trying to cure. just a moment ago we were barely able to handle 3 of them, so I'm fairly sure they will beat us all that here very quickly. And this is why we save our progress, because otherwise we would have lost the progress that we had made. I'll attempt this again, see if it's as difficult as it was now. We're getting quite good at finding our way to the castle and back. We've made quite a few of these trips already. We lost a robber to the chest, so we'll run back and restore him, and then come back. Even though the interface in this game is mouse-based, I'm almost exclusively playing the game using the keyboard, except for spellcasting, which I'm still doing using the graphical interface. This is quite a bit easier than the previous one. Would be good to try to get rid of these peasants here before they kill every one of us. I managed to kill one of us at least, because they are not in front, and they're making it difficult for us to fight them. Let's see. I have killed 3 now. We'll just allow them to. Curious. There are no more encounters. This is basically the only one. So what we'll do now is get into another battle, which we will lose, and then try this again. I think this battle is doable. This was not as difficult as the previous one, so the next attempt might be the one that succeeds. I made this soft rule of trying every battle 3 times, and if by the 3rd time we have no luck, I will assume that we need to level up more before attempting it, and I will return to it later on. We've done that multiple times already with various things. Okay, this one is easier. We'll have to be careful though, because the Iron Wizard is difficult. We got unlucky this time around again. But let's see if we make it out. what we really needed to be able to do, we needed to be able to take down the Iron Wizard before he was able to attack us. And do all of this damage. Let's see. This is a tough combination of enemies. One more go. Go number 4, breaking my own rule. And if we don't succeed, we will try this door at a later point. And again, we lost the robber to the chest. It's funny that the bishop of the yellow barrel would be in this castle, which is significantly more difficult than the castle where we found the bishop of the red barrel. Castle Hillstone, which we completed earlier in this run and in the last stream. Kind of seems like it should be reversed. But it's also possible that the bishop of yellow barrel is indeed not in this castle at all, but the one of the black barrel, which would make this the fourth castle instead of the second one, which would perhaps make more sense. Again, this is an extremely difficult battle, but we get to have one go here before they attack us, and plow all of us down here fairly easily. We have 2, 3 dead. This is near impossible. We are never beating this, so I would give up on this particular door and move on to the next one. Finish as much as we can here before moving on. That basically leaves this one door here, which we haven't explored. We have some gargoyles here, which we will try to take care of first. This was fairly easy going. This is the yellow room, so this is indeed the correct castle for the yellow barrel. We've already completed the yellow triple crown, so we get some 5,000 experience now and additional 50,000 for completing the for completing the yellow triple crown. So we should be fairly close to leveling up now. I'm going to travel back to town, save this progress, and return. And to verify that we indeed got the experience points, that should be fairly obvious to us. I checked this not so long ago. Yes, we have already obviously gained quite a bit of experience, so we were able to level up. Sir Lancelot is now level 12, so is the Sir Roland the Paladin, and so is Sir Hiram the Hireling Knight. And the Archer is at level 12, and so is the Robber, as well as the Cleric and the Sorcerer, and we are actually fairly close to leveling the Cleric up to level 13, which will bring with it additional spells. So that's a huge positive, and we now have a way, if we want to gain these 50,000 experience points fairly easily. All we need to do is buy the red key and finish these 3 battles. It's just a grind, so that's one way of doing it. I see that we are actually running out of food here, which is a pretty annoying condition. I don't think we have the create food. Yeah, we do. We can simply use it here a few times to enable us to do some finding here, so we can finish some of this off, create some 40 units and share them. That will get us somewhere. This one is locked, so we'll see what's here. We are in this corridor here. On the other side, we've already been here once. There is a square in the uppermost level so far that teleports us to this location. Let's see. We need to be careful of the time traps here. If we run into one, we will probably go and restore our condition. What we really want to do now is... Yes, great. We got all of our spell points removed here, making things near impossible for us in this battle. The Iron Wizard will simply kill all of us here, since he's immune to melee attacks. So we're essentially dead here. We'll make another attempt. What we should have remembered is that we were out of food. And we need to go back anyway, since the robber is dead. So we will stop by the tavern and buy some food, since we have to go back anyway. Heal the robber. Rest. Save our position and go back. This is again a combination of different monsters of various difficulties, and the wyvern is obviously quite difficult, and so was the guardian, and we have the strangler here as well. We have a few of these. They're in a very difficult position right now, near death. So we won't be successful here. So we will make the third attempt at this battle, but I'm fairly sure this is one of those battles that we are not meant to win at this point in the game. And we will then skip this part and go downward instead of going upward. And finish the bottom corridor and leave these areas for later. This one actually isn't all that difficult. The Pyrohydra is very difficult, but the rest is easy enough. The dancing bones are mostly immune to melee attacks, but they are not immune to magic at all. So you can simply cast spells and take them down. So this one was, considering the other two, easy. And at least the chest didn't kill the robber. Trying to be extra careful in case there are time traps here. Which would annoyingly force us to go back again. We are in X1, Y6. Another encounter. Plenty of these mad peasants. Very difficult to deal with if they get to go first. Damn near impossible. Probably wipe out all of us, or come close to doing so. I'll make one attempt, but yeah, we're dead. I'll leave this corridor for now. I'll return to it later. It's too difficult. We'll explore the bottommost corridor. See if we can finish that before doing what we probably should have done a while ago. I'm going to go on a quest and check out all the different skills in the game. Figure out the order of skills that the characters should have. Finish off this square here as well. And then we will go down here. Get rid of the hypnobeetles so they don't put us to sleep. Get rid of the leprechaun so he doesn't steal all of our money. And then take down the rest of them. We barely sustained a hit. I already know for a fact, since we were here earlier, that at X2Y0 there is another of these time traps here, so we will have to jump over that particular square. We are now at 3-0, so I will go forward 2 squares, skip the time traveling square. It's not active in the other direction, so we should be able to map it coming from the other direction. This is difficult here. Again, let's try to take down the wasps as quickly as we can. Might be able to get rid of them like this and then use the Turn of Death spell on the Grey Walkers and get ourselves out of this one. But these battles seem to be slightly more manageable. The ones that are on the ones that were in the other corridor were incredibly difficult. Okay, we made it all the way here. We've not found another time trap, it's just that one. Plenty of mountain men here, lots of them. We'll start our quest to take them down here. We'll have to start healing now. Can't afford to use the clerics to cast combat spells anymore. We have to use their magic to heal us. Quite a few of the mountain men remain. Lost Sir Hiron. Which is difficult. But there are now only 12 of them left. We've lost 3 members of the party at this point. Things are getting very difficult. But somehow we still survive. There's so many of us dead right now. Only one survivor now. We're dead. Okay. So obviously we are probably not going to be able to map that either. We'll just leave the rest of the castle for later. What I'm going to do now is try to map all of these skills, and my first starting point in that is to find the detoxification room. Seem to remember it being here in town somewhere, although it might also have been in town number 3. Let's see. This is the portal. This is the monster bowl. There's nothing down here. This is the locksmith. Just leaves these doors here. The sandy dunes. The embassy. Slice opportunities. The training area. Yeah, it's probably not in this town. I will travel to the 3rd town, see if it's there. Here's the portal. No. This is the blacksmith and the saloon. Enhancement center. This is the crusader skills. These are all various skills. And the mage scout. Let's try the 4th town then, since we've bar and the training academy and the second portal. This is the temple and this is the blacksmith, so it's not there. Okay, let's visit the last town. If it's not in the last town, then it's simply in the first town. Let's see. More skills. Temple, Colosseum. The tavern. The black key shop. The ironworks and the inn. Does not appear to be here. I'll check in the first town. Let's see. This is the key maker. It's also possible that the door was unlabeled, but as I remember, it's not unlabeled. It has a label on it. Here it is. Okay. What we have so far and have done is that we have Sir Lancelot is a cartographer and a pathfinder. The pathfinder skill we need to be able to go around the mountainous areas on the outside. We need preferably 2 cartographers and we also happen to need 2 mountaineers and 2 pathfinders. So what we eventually did was that we learned the 2 of the characters learned the cartographer skill, and then I made Sir Hiram learn to be both a pathfinder and a mountaineer. So he's basically the secondary pathfinder and mountaineer for the entire party. Now William Tell is an arms master and a soldier. Currently Pink Panther has no skills, neither does the cleric, the sorcerer, but the hireling cleric has the linguist skill. And there are a couple of skills in the game which are only really useful in very specific circumstances, and the linguist is one of them, because I know the linguist is capable of deciphering some of the messages and runes in the game, but some of the skills are also useful for character building. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cleanse. But not Big Boutte, because hello Ash, welcome to the stream. I'm not going to cleanse Big Potato because he only has this one skill anyway. He's a linguist. So what has happened essentially now is that we have absolutely no skills. I'm going to clean Sir Hiron out as well. We seem to have forgotten about him. Let's see. Okay, we can't cleanse. Okay. We can't make changes to the hirelings. Once we've given them skills, we can't remove them again. That's interesting. But it doesn't really matter. Sir Hiron can have these skills for all I'm concerned. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save the status and we are going to go through these skills one by one and figure out which ones are beneficial to us. Starting with the first town. This is the track and trail. This is the Pathfinder skill, and this is the mountaineering skill. And we know what these two, they enable us to travel to areas which are mountainous and which are filled with trees. So these are skills that we need. We also need the mapping skill, but we perhaps only need one character in the party to have that particular skill. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to have the sorcerer learn the cartographer skill to map, because we are now at a stage in the game where we don't really need a backup mapper. She does die occasionally, but usually if she does, we're going back the same way anyway. So I will waste one of her slots on the cartographer, and I will write this down. I'll save this progress here. Then we're going to go to the second town and check out the skills that are available there. Let's see. This is the locksmith. Now, this is a skill which is a gambling skill, which I assume is necessary for the robber. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take a snapshot of his current statistics and see if learning the skill changes anything other than just adding the skill. But I'm fairly sure this is a skill for the robber. And now he's a gambler, and I'm going to rest. His thievery percentage is the same, but his luck has increased by 5. So this is definitely a skill for the robber. And probably a skill that he needs. And it will enable us to gain additional points when leveling up. Now, here is a skill of diplomacy. And it's probably wise now at exactly this moment in time to go to the inn and save our progress. Because we can then just quit the game and go back. Now, how does the diplomacy skill help us? What does it do for us? Yeah, I had a pretty nice day. I'm working from home this week, so things are fairly nice and quiet here. I hope you had a nice day as well, Ash. Thanks for coming to the stream. It's good to see you. Gentle art of diplomacy. What we have to do here, we simply have to learn this. So I'm gonna take the cleric. I'm gonna snapshot his current position and his current skills, and I'm going to have him learn this skill. And I'm going to rest and check what has changed. He's now a diplomat, and that has increased his personality by 5, and that is good because that is the main strength of the cleric, which also means that he's now gained spell points. He now has some 24 additional spell points. So that is definitely the correct guess, and we will then also save this particular progress. What we then know is that the secondary skill of Big Botay, which is already a linguist, should definitely also be this. So we will go to the diplomacy again and have the hireling cleric also learn this skill. And he has 80 spell points now, has 90 after saving. So we've then decided that the hireling cleric is a linguist and a diplomat. Okay. Let's see. Let's check out whether there are some additional skills to be learned here. This is the pickpocket. It's also very likely that the pickpocket is something that the robber should learn. He's already a gambler, so I will have him learn the pickpocket skill as well. Let's see. I'm gonna snapshot his current condition here and see what changes. These are all very logical, but we are at a point in the game where this is starting to matter to us. So what this did was raise his thievery percentage from 66 to 81%. So now we have a 81% chance of unlocking doors or opening traps without getting sprung. So we will save that as well. So we've now learned 3 skills that we didn't have before. And, this is the portal. I'm not sure if there are any additional skills left in this particular town. There might not be. Do one more round here, just to be sure. This is the locksmith. We already know what he does. This is the gambler again. We already finished this. The embassy. Okay. We just have the middle doors here. This is the temple and the tavern, and this is the mage guild. So okay, we're done with this town. We will travel to the next one and take a look at the skills available there. So now we're in Tundra, the 3rd town, and there are additional skills here that we can learn. They are all on this side of town here, not spread around. This is Sarkhan's Denial, and here we can learn to crusade. And the question remains, is that one of those skills that has very little actual value for us. As far as I know, the only time you need the Crusader skill is when you need to take on a quest in the game. You can't take on a quest in the castles without having a Crusader in the party. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the inn, find a random hireling. There are no hirelings here, okay. Go back to I'll go to the fourth town of Volcania, visit the inn here, and check out. This is a barbarian, and this is a sorcerer. I will take this barbarian here. I will leave Big Boutte, and I will take this barbarian here, add him to the party, and take him back to the third town. And learn the skill and see if it enhances any of our skills. If it enhances any of the skill points of the character itself, or whether it's just whether the only point is just to see. I'm going to take a snapshot here of all the traits of the barbarian character. And I'm going to learn the skill, rest, check the progress. He was already a Crusader, okay. He's now a double Crusader. He's learned to crusade twice. That's less than useful. So we have no way of knowing whether it did anything for us or not. I'm wondering if we accidentally lured in twice. I'm going to quit and go back into the game. Check whether they whether he was already. Yeah, okay, he is already a Crusader. Okay, then we will pick someone else. We really need to know whether this does anything for us or not. We will go to Atlantium. Go to the inn there. Where I'm pretty sure I left Rogue, who is already a Crusader, and Cleogatra, the archer, who's an athlete. Okay. Okay. Let's take Cleogatra along with us here. The fact that she is an athlete suggests to me that the athlete skill is something that we should take a look at for the archer. Seems very likely that is the case. And the game does give you these hints by having the hirelings have certain skills for a certain class. What I'm going to do again now is snapshot this again and have the archer learn the Crusader skill and the rest, and see whether it did anything. No, it does in fact do nothing. So the Crusader is basically a skill that is only needed for the sole purpose of being able to finish these missions in the castle So it's a nice to have, and none of the characters actually need to have it. So what we will probably do is leave these particular skills with the hirelings, so we don't have to waste them on player characters. So it's the same as with the linguist. I will leave the linguist with the hireling. So we will leave Cleogotcha here, take Big Boutte again, add him to the party again, go back to the third town again, and continue this quest to finish these skills. I've been in these towns so much at this point that I pretty much I'm starting to find my way around here. International market. This is here we can become a merchant, and the question now is what does that do for us? I'm gonna run to the inn and save the game. If it doesn't give us anything valuable, I might simply revert to that save again. I have no idea how that would be valuable to us. It's entirely possible that this is just a question of certain items in the game becoming cheaper for us. I will have the paladin learn this skill just to try it out. But first I will take a snapshot here and see whether it does anything for us. If it's only a question of making certain things cheaper, then we are really not interested in it. I will go over them. This did absolutely nothing for us as far as I can see in terms of status. What I will do now is I will go just to verify this theory. I will go visit the blacksmith and take a look at the armor page here. Take a snapshot of it and quit the game. Restore our last saved position and visit the blacksmith again. It doesn't even appear to be any difference here. It's the same prices, so a merchant skill isn't immediately obviously beneficial to us, so we will simply skip it. If we find some use for it later in the game, we can always return and add it. Tired of getting lost for just 750 gold. Chris will teach you how to use a sextant properly. Now we have another question. What exactly does this do for us? Let us take a snapshot and have Sir Lancelot learn this skill. He becomes a navigator. And how does that help us? I know for a fact that in game number 1 there are areas where particularly out on the open sea where you get lost, so you can't explore the land levels. So it's very likely that the navigator helps you in that particular regard. What we will then do is when we reach that point of the game, we will simply return and learn this skill. And what is probably most likely is that we will have a hireling learn this particular skill, because it isn't immediately useful to us. We just probably need 1 or 2 characters to have the skill, and we can simply take along some of the hirelings while we explore that section of the game. So we will leave it for now. This is the temple, and that leaves the mage guild. So we've now learned all the skills that are in this town, I believe. I'm gonna check on the other side as well, just in case. Yeah, I realized after the first stream of this in this series that I had never in my life correctly pronounced the word guild. I had always pronounced it as guild, which is incorrect. It's just one of those words that you don't really hear a lot. And someone pointed out to me that when he heard me say it on stream, that it is indeed not the correct pronunciation of the word. So you learn something new every day. Let's see, we're now ready to travel to the 4th town and check out the skills available there. We'll probably start by signing into the inn. It's funny that in the first towns there are they make it difficult to find the portals. There is a long distance between the portal to the 2nd town and the 3rd town, for example. But as you go to the more difficult towns, they make it easier for you. So here the inn and both of the portals are placed in basically the same 4x4 squares. So they probably figured that at that point in the game you are far enough along that you don't need additional problems. Let's see, there's a room here. This is Sergeant Payne School. This sounds like something that would be good for a knight. So I'm gonna snapshot the knight here and have him learn this skill. I'm Sergeant Stephen Payne. For 500 gold, join my private hell and increase your pathetic stamina. Train. Yes, we will train. So what this does is increase our endurance by 5. So it brings us the soldier skill. So for the paladin and for the knights, these are useful skills, certainly, and in general they would definitely help the archer as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have the paladin and the archer learn this skill as well, and that will increase their endurance by 5 whole points, which is a lot. It will help us later on. This is the red key. I'm not interested in that at this point. Disembowelment for us. The enormous gladiator Spartacus will mercilessly beat you for 500 gold. You will be stronger, pay the brute. So this is the BDSM part of the game. This would seemingly be a very good idea for the knight and the paladin as well, but the paladin already has, or should. Yeah, I think I will learn this skill for those two. And I will increase our might by 5. So we've now increased our might and endurance. Question then remains, who do we use as a mountaineer and a pathfinder, because we need these skills as well. So at some point we will need to add them to the arsenal. The skill that we haven't learned yet is the athlete skill, which we need for the archer, which I assume will increase his accuracy. Yeah, the Master of Accuracy charges 500 gold. So we will have the archer learn this skill. And his accuracy is now up to 40, which is a great deal. But this is the arms master skill, which means that the athlete skill still remains. But we've now filled the first two characters. Sir Hiram is already a pathfinder and a mountaineer. We filled the archer, we filled the robber, and we've added the diplomat and the cartographer to Friar Tuck, and magic at the spell. What we need to do now is we need to go to the hotel here and save our current state. And then we need to travel back. I will travel to the Atlantium, and I will take a look at the remaining skills that are here. I'm going to go up to the inn and save our current progress. Just so we don't accidentally do something we weren't supposed to do. None of these are skills. This is the jail. This is the key shop, the Colosseum, the temple, the Maid's Guild. So this is the athlete. I'm curious now. I'm just going to try this here on the mage and see what that actually does. Does that alter us? This has everything to do with speed. So that's what the athlete does. It increases your speed. So theoretically for the archer, if we don't add the soldier skill, we can also add this skill. It's tempting. I think we might do that. Simply a matter of going back here to Middlegate and using the brain detoxification process that is somewhere here, around here. Was it on the other side of town? Might have been. Yeah, it's here. I will have the archer unlearn, and you will and take him back to first to Tundra, first to Zanzibar, then to Tundra, and then to Volcania. So remember, it was somewhere down here. We'll have him learn this particular skill and then take him to Atlantium. And this is the linguist. We already have a linguist. And have him learn the athlete. So he won't be as capable in the might category, but he will have greater speed and accuracy, which is more important for the archer. He's not directly in the front line, and here we can become a hero or a heroine, and we need to I want to save our progress at this stage before we mess with that. So I want to see what it does first. Because we still haven't found a primary skill for the mage, for the sorcerer. So it's possible that this is her primary skill. I'll take a screenshot here. We need to clear her out because we made her an athlete earlier. So we will have to go back to Middlegate, visit the detoxification, and clear out her skills. Where am I? I'm here. We will clear her out now. And go back. This is all a lot of work, but is potentially very useful to us going forward. And I probably should have done it sooner as well. We've been busy doing other things. Back in Atlantium. And go to the inn. Save our progress. And then go back. And I already took a screenshot, so now I will have her run this skill. Rest and check it. So, what this does, it raises our intellect, and it raises every point by 1. It raises our might, our intellect, our personality, our endurance, our speed, our accuracy, and our luck. So in fact it affects every single. That is interesting, but perhaps not as useful as some of the others. This one we already mapped. This is the linguist. I'm curious whether the linguist does anything else than add the linguistic skill. I'm going to have the mage learn it and see what it alters. It alters intellect. So it does. So that is then the correct skill for the sorcerer. So we will restore our save. And make her a linguist. which then increased our spell points from 84 to 96, giving us 14 additional spell points. Well worth it. And now our task is to try our best to fit the skills that we need to the rest. We have one slot here, one slot here. That's all we need. We will keep Sir Hiram the Hireling as a Mountaineer and a Pathfinder. And as far as I know, I'm going to check it out to be absolutely sure. We need 2 members of the party to have this skill to be able to go into forested areas, and that is correct. We can't go into forested areas at this point, and probably then we can't go into mountainous areas either. No. So that is definitely a potential problem. So it's near impossible to explore the outside in this game without having these skills, so we will use the 2 remaining slots to add these skills, and we will then have mapped all of the player characters Track and Trail, yes, 6, and Edmund's Expeditions, yes, 7. So the skills for the knight are then the soldier and the gladiator, which is the might and the endurance, and the same for the paladin. The hireling knight is a pathfinder and a mountaineer, so we're using both of his skills to be able to explore the outside territories. The archer is both an archmaster and an athlete. The robber is a gambler and a pickpocket. The cleric is a diplomat and a secondary pathfinder. And the sorcerer is a linguist and a secondary mountaineer. So we are now fully set. Let's check what the training status is like. We are not terribly long away from being able to level up a little bit. So what I will do now is I will go on a trip outside, and I will kill some barbarians, and might take 2 runs when I will kill some barbarians and level up, and then we will probably call it a stream. It's already 1 AM here. Time goes by very quickly when you're having fun in this game. And before we settle in for the night, I might also go to the towns and finish learning spells. We haven't done that. We've been leveling up pretty quickly, and we haven't been learning necessarily all the new spells. These barbarians aren't that difficult for us at this point, and we get some 6,000 experience for beating them down. So it's a fairly easy 18,000 experience points. I think we can simply just quick fight ourselves through this in most cases now. Don't remember if there were more of them on this side. Yes, there were. There are There are at least 4 of these barrels then that we can go through without having to reload this map. A 5th, which will then have gained us 30,000 experience points. Should be fairly close to what we needed at this stage. Go back and check our progress after we finish these off here. See if we need to do another of these runs, but this is fairly... doesn't take very long. Sell some of this stuff that we found here. Gain some gold. Check the status, see how much more we need. So Lancelot at Night is ready for level 13. So Highland is 27,000 short. Pink Panther is 20,000 short. The Cleric is ready. So we need one more. We need one more run of this, and then we can level up the other 2 characters. I'll save the current status here and do one more of these barbarian runs. You still need to be a little bit careful around these, they are still dangerous. Though we've gained a significant amount of hit points, we still sometimes need to be careful of them. Don't want to end up dead. Don't really need to heal here, we can just continue. Done with the first batch of them here. 2 of these remaining in this run. One more. Not too long ago we had to be very careful in these battles, but only 2 levels later they are so much easier. We've been finding also this time around a lot of very high up items. We found a helm +9 here. Sadly doesn't fit a good alignment. It's tempting to see if it if the neutral knight is able to use it. He has a silver helm, but I might be willing to give it up for quite the addition of an armor class for the frontmost character. Let's see whether we can use it or not. To remove the silver helm first, see if this fits here. It does. Brings his armor class to 24 from 18 with the silver helm. It is certainly worth it. And in addition to that, we have a Bartage +8, which does more damage than the halberd, but alas, we can't use it. It's only 1 point as well. The true axe is a magical item, so it's there's also this great shield +9, a crazy amount of a bonus for a shield. So it's tempting to see if we can use this with the cleric. We can. It's enormously powerful. So it's a big bonus for us. And we will simply sell off the rest here. We will keep the flaming sword. It is quite useful. One of the things that we forgot in this skill quest of ours is that I don't think we have a cartographer anymore, and that is certainly a problem. It's a bit of a problem that we can't clear the hirelings, because we don't really need Big Boutte to be a linguist. I will worry about that at a later stage. I'm gonna try it again, see if it's whether it works, or because it offers it but it doesn't actually do anything. So that is a problem. That is most definitely a problem. Because we definitely need a cartographer. It's the only thing that we could potentially do here is clear out the thief and have him learn just a pickpocket skill. That is basically what I think is the wisest thing to do. That will mean that he won't get the luck boost that we had, but he's already at level 21 in the luck category, and I will learn the cartographer skill before I leave. number 5, and I will then learn the pickpocket skill again, and we will leave it like that. Not having the cartographer means that we are unable to map automatically, and that is a huge problem. It's the most valuable skill in the game, in my opinion. Now it's also the matter of remembering where this particular skill was learned, whether it was here or later on. This is the portal, this is the locksmith, Mage Guild, the tavern, the temple, the inn, the training. This is the embassy. Yes, pickpocket. This is the one we want, I believe. We are at 76%. %. It does seem like it's possible to cheat a little bit here, because it seems that even though we had him forget the skill, we still got an additional bonus now. He's already leveled up 1, so his thievery percentage is now 91%, which means that he's almost a perfect thief at this stage in the game, and that helps significantly because for example, in the castle we were in earlier, we had to go back to town multiple times because the thief got killed trying to open a chest. We still have the silver helm +2, which is a useful item. I wonder if you can actually use it on the paladin. It has magical properties. Yes, we can. No, we will sell this regular helm +2 instead, which is worth 1/4 of the other one. And we will then level up. Sir Hiram is now at level 13. So is the Pink Panther. Whereas the Big Boutte needs 30,000 for a level 11. So we will now, I'm going to visit the temple here, see if there are any spells that we haven't learned. No, I think there are none, but I'm going to check anyway, just to be absolutely sure. Need to go to the guild and the temple in these towns, see if there are any unlearned spells. I don't think there are, but we'll see. At least not in the first town. There are some definitely in the at least in the second town, probably the third one as well, because both the paladin and the archer have gained a spell level at this point in the game, so they are now level 3 spellcasters and are able to cast spells that they weren't able to just previously. Now, where is the temple in this mess of a town? It's here. So Roland has already learned all of these. Okay. And the guild is here. William Tell hasn't learned 3-1 or 3-4, so we will add them to his arsenal. 3-4 is the one that we primarily use, which is the lightning bolt. So we now have 2 members of the party able to cast that spell, which is very useful. no, this is not the correct door. I'm searching for the teleport, which is here. No. The temple and the guild are on the other side of town here. At least the temple is. Here's the temple. So Roland can now learn 3-1 and 3-5. Okay, with the rest of the clerics. And we've already learned all of these. Oh, that's good. Travel to the fourth town now. Let's see. I remember where the temple is. I have to find the guild. We now have access to clerical spell 7-2. Which is the fiery flail, which is a battle combat spell, which is potentially useful. We are now only 4 levels away from gaining access to the final spell level for the cleric, so he's making very good progress. To go searching for the Mage's Guild, which is here. And we can now learn 6-1, 6-3, 6-5. Super Shock, Fantastic Freeze, and Disintegration. So the sorcerer, as always, takes slightly longer to level up than the cleric, but she's not far off either. And we will go to Atlantium and then do a full circle and go back to Millgate. And save our position here. So we've got a lot of things done on this stream. We finished Castle Hillstone. We mapped most of Castle Pinehurst. We found the correct level for all of the characters. We learned new magical spells. And we leveled up a little bit. So I think this is a good point to leave. I'm going to, however, one more housekeeping thing here. I'm going to stock up on food. So we have 40 food units before retiring. I will sign the registry, and I will, as I've done multiple times already in this game, we'll back up the current save file. A backup since last night. I've taken a backup after every stream. We leveled up 2 levels this time around. And what I do is I take a duplicate of the master roster, which is basically the save game, and I store it in a backup folder just in case we end up in a situation where we regret some decision that we made, so we can go and revert back to a previous save. It's as I mentioned before, a case of having both suspenders and a belt. So if one of them breaks, your pants don't fall down. Having said that, thanks a lot for coming. I'm going to see if there's somebody interesting to rate here. And there is. Ash has gone live, so it's tempting to go visit Ash. She's a very positive and charming person. She plays a lot of retro games, mostly console-based games. And I'm gonna see. Right now, she's playing what seems to be some sort of shoot 'em up. So we'll go rate Ash. Thanks for coming, guys, and good night.